Happy Monday morning. It's Carol Williams with Williams Immigration, and we are back for another Monday morning edition of Beyond the Soundbite, where we talk about all things U.S. immigration that have gone on in the past week. So let's dive right in. I wanted to first talk about H-1B Cap season. We are in full swing now. Cap season opened last week on March 1. So we are now able to file our registrations and get our clients into the registration pool. The registration ends March 18th at noon Eastern Standard Time. So if you are on the fence about entering a potential candidate, or you've got someone who is already on your payroll who is in student status, and you're thinking maybe you'll hold off until the next year, I always say in terms of our students, early and often is the best when it comes to H-1B Cap season, because again, this is a lottery. So if you are on the fence, now is really the time to be making that decision as to whether or not you want to enter that candidate into the lottery. You will need to create a MyUSCIS account. That does not take a long time at all. So you do still have time. And again, the lottery registration ends March 18th at noon Eastern Standard Time. So it is electronic. Sometimes there are glitches with our digital and electronic stuff. So please don't wait until the last minute if you are intending to get someone entered into the lottery. And USCIS will notify us of the lottery selections via our online MyUSCIS accounts on March 31st. So those are key dates that we want to remember. March 18th is when the registration ends, March 18th at noon Eastern Standard Time. And we will get notification of the selections for the lottery March 31st. And those selection notifications will again be in our MyUSCIS accounts, which we can access online. So if you have any questions about the H-1B Cap, feel free to reach out to my office, 954-903-1337. I have spoken to y'all a couple times about the credit card pilot program that USCIS is in the midst of. They are now widening that net to all service centers. So Vermont, Texas, Nebraska, and California service centers for all forms. Those can now be paid using credit cards. So you'd have to fill, we'd have to fill out the form that they have for us if we want to pay via credit card. And those are for all the applications that are accepted at those service centers, except the H-1B and the H-2A. So just keep that in mind. And again, I spoke about this last week for the H-1Bs. Do not combine your filing fee checks. The Immigration Service is moving more towards a digital platform, and they have let us know that different systems process some of these filing fee checks. So you want to make sure that you don't combine any of your filing fee checks for your H-1B. You want to give them separate checks for all of the governmental filing fees. Next thing I want to talk to you all about is TPS, or Temporary Protected Status. That is a temporary stay allowed for individuals that are already here in the U.S. And the government, DHS, has determined that it is unsafe for them to go home right now. And so we have seen a new designation as well as a redesignation for a couple of countries, so I want to go over that with you. One of the many benefits of TPS for individuals and employers is that the individual granted TPS status can also apply for work authorization. And for those employers that already have people on their payrolls and in their companies that are thriving who are on TPS, this is also super important information so that you know that you can keep that person on your payroll and an active part of your employment team. So we've seen a new 18-month designation for individuals from Sudan. Once that notification is actually published in our Federal Register, we will have precise dates for that. But we do see a new designation, a new 18-month designation for nationals of Sudan. Now, for nationals of South Sudan, we are seeing a redesignation and extension of TPS. So that means that our folks that are being redesignated, or folks that are extending, they're able to extend for another 18 months, effective May 3rd, and that will run through November 3rd, 2023, so through November 3rd of next year. And the redesignation means that individuals are now able to file new TPS applications if they are from South Sudan. So if for some reason you missed the initial designation of South Sudan, you may now file your initial TPS application if you are from South Sudan. The latest TPS designation that we have seen come out is for individuals in the US who are from Ukraine. They must have been in the US since March 1 of this year. So individuals that attempt to travel to the US after March 1 will not be eligible for this particular round of TPS if they are from the Ukraine. Ukrainians will also receive an 18-month TPS designation. We don't know what those specific dates are yet. We will need to wait for that to come through the Federal Register. And once that is published, we will certainly update you with what those specific dates are. But that is super important information for not only the individuals, but also for the employers. So if you are from Sudan, South Sudan, or the Ukraine, and you are in the United States and you meet the requirements, you are certainly eligible for TPS. And the last thing I wanted to talk about, we're going to keep it pretty quick today, is the H-1B Cap season from last year. So although it is called the fiscal year 2022 H-1B Cap, these are, now I'm referring to the lottery that was run last year in 2021. So the immigration has just let us know that that H-1B season is now completely closed. They have received enough applications to meet the mandated 65,000 H-1Bs for regular cap and the 20,000 for the master's cap. But again, that is for the lottery that you entered last year. That does not impact the lottery registrations that we are currently doing now. We are currently doing lottery registrations for fiscal year 2023. So I don't want to cause any confusion. But again, last year's H-1B lottery has now been officially closed out, while this year's lottery, fiscal year 2023, is in full swing. So I am Carol Williams with Williams Immigration. This has been another wonderful edition of Monday Morning Beyond the Soundbite. If you have any questions about U.S. immigration, employment-based immigration, feel free to pop those in the chat, or family immigration, and I'm more than happy to help you all out. I can be reached at 954-903-1337. Have a wonderful Monday and a great rest of your week.